little bit of chuckle for me if we get to the far side of the moon and the Sea of Remembrance is a crater and out sticking from it is Dallos' ass. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, and we are back with another episode, the final episode of Dallos. I don't even know, now that I'm thinking about this out loud, how I am going to put this into the titles. Do I label the last episode episode 3, Act 1, whatever, and then this one, episode 3, Act 2? I think I'm probably... Look, you in the future already know what I've done, but I'm recording this in the moment, back to back with the last one, so I haven't decided yet. But I'm thinking I'm probably going to go with episode 4, because that is just a stupid decision. Especially if I'm wrong, and that literally was the last minute of last episode was Act 2, and they just sped through it, and we start this one, and it says it's Act 4. I mean, not Act 4, Episode 4. In which case, I'm going to be mad. I'm going to be mad in that flippant way that I'm usually, flippant about things, in that if they skipped over the entire fight to get right to Dallos launching, I guess I'll have understood Henry's comment about how they cut it short and be disappointed in the ending. I feel like there's a lot of setup you could still do here. Not setup, obviously. They set that up last time. The Act 2 during Episode 3 has to have been the next time on, because if it was an actual act, and they just told us what happened with some Gundam 1979, The Battle of Odessa shit, watch that episode of my of our Gundam reaction if you want to know why I'm referring to it as that. That will be bullshit. I will be... my ranking of this series will go way down if that's what happens. Other than that, I think my opinion is known about what certain characters are doing and what they're up to. Rachel's a bitch. Yeah, I guess there's not much else to get into but to get into it, because Vice Counsel, what the fuck he's up to. Security Chief, is he going to go through the plan or is he going to back out last minute? Dog and the Dallos' resurrection. Shun on the front lines. Rachel's a bitch. So much shit. I mean, they said Alex is leading the charge as a next time on, or is it going to happen this episode? Did it happen as an Act 2 last episode? Whatever. Let's hop on in. Let's find out.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
I guess the encoders decided to go from white to red at the very end. Okay, thank God. I was getting preemptively mad for no reason, it seems like. Hell, this episode is in fact 2 minutes longer than the last episode. Oh, this is like a scene described in one of my favorite books, Eon, by Greg Bear. Not great camouflage. Brown carpet on white lunar surface. I know it's not carpet, you know what I mean. I guess the only drawback here is that we know all the people inside are already wearing their helmets. So if the weapons fire doesn't take them out, exposure to space isn't going to. Oddly not as horrific as some of the scenes we got in episode 1. That one was, though. drop pod lines. They're behind you too. Such a good soundtrack. Regardless of where the story goes, gonna give it to the soundtrack. Did not expect Moon Ski Troopers. Wait, are they robots? Or are they really large suits and there's smaller people inside? So obviously that's Alex. I assumed he'd be in a mecha like he was last time. Not like directly leading the troops on the ground. If that's part of Dallos, what the fuck is Dallos that has all these giant holes in it? Also, there's a giant hole in it. How are these people in here without, suits and everything? Wait, is Dallos attacking everybody inside? Because it just destroyed one of the rebel suits, too. I guess, thank God, Shun's a prodigy at this. No, Arna's gonna go down like a badass. That's bad spatial awareness if you know he's the guy right behind you. Hello, Light Brigade. Don't think I picked that up last time that Tatsuya was his brother's name. And I kept getting it wrong about being Bartholomew. So they're here to kill you. I guess the Dallos is kind of like the Macross. Like he has to form up. Clearly I meant the SDF Macross. ダロス内部に強力なエネルギー反応を確認。急速に増大中。直撃機、直ちに地上操作を中止しろ。直撃機、応答しろ。クレオジ、部長を制止してください。このままでは同士討ちに。現場の指揮権は公安部長にある。私の権限外だ。彼を信用したまえ、味方を撃つようなミスを犯す男ではない。違うか。 So it's heating up too. See, the same thing that happened before that made me think it was destroying itself from the inside out.
前方約500メートルの地下よりレーザー攻撃が開始され、宇宙機を含む食塩機3機撃墜されました。
Well, so much for the chief. And the vice council. So nothing came of that storyline. That's fine, though. I don't... There was a minor plot line only introduced last episode. That it didn't go anywhere isn't that important.
警戒せよ。ダロスを起点とするレーザーネットワーク、急速に展開中。開始中の B 中隊増速せよ。追いつかれるぞ。
Is the entire center of the moon a giant robot?
B 中隊消滅。レーザーネットワーク、モノポリス禁煙に進展中。何？第3、第4航空包囲。
I guess if the first generation were all miners, that could be how they discovered the Dallos. Is it firing at like every energy source?
総領事の権限において緊急事態を宣言。全作戦行動中止。展開中の部隊は別名あるまでその場で待機せよ。モノポリス内のあらゆる活動を停止させろ。動くな。誰も動くんじゃない。息を潜め地に伏して待つんだ。
Yeah, it's like a predator situation, right? The predator attacks anybody with weapons. I hope Rachel picks up a gun to try and take this moment to kill Melinda, and a laser fucking blows her head off. I don't know why I'm so angry at her, I just am. Some bad situational awareness.
よくはわからんが、自己修復で蘇ったダロスが防御システムを作り上げていたとしても。
Doesn't seem like it revived itself. It looked like people inside were plugging it up.
やつに知性があるのかどうか知らんが、真のパーフェクトメカニズムだとすりゃ、その増殖のプロセスの中に進化というファクターがあってもおかしくはない。 そうプログラムされていたんなら、あれを作った連中はよほど重要な目的を。
I mean, if this whole thing wakes up and destroys everybody on the moon, could go to Earth, destroy humanity.
さっきから呼んでるんだが、音はない。クリス、マッシュ、ボリス、ゲオルグ、
Erna? Kenichi, world's strongest disciple. Ah, fuck. All I had to see was Erna's finger exposed to space to know she was dead. Is that Alex? Alex dead too? Nope, Alex still out. I mean, alive. Weird call to try and save him, but I guess this is a, I don't was going to say enemy mine situation, but that doesn't seem right either.
おじいちゃん。わしなら大丈夫じゃ。それよりどこかに負傷者がおるやもしれん。探して助けてやりなさい。さあ、あなたも。
Like I said, they had to have activated it themselves, otherwise why didn't Dallos wake up this entire time? It legit looked like people were plugging up, like, energy parts together.
何が起きたのだ。この前、あなた方がダロスをめちゃめちゃに壊したから。ダロスは自ら防御システムを張り巡らしたんだ。
That's fair. That's fair. You basically slapped it awake. That could be a thing, too.
お前か。あなただとは知らなかった。知っていたらどうした。助けなかった。
You killed my mom, dude.
あなたは僕の母を殺した。レイチェルのお父さんを殺した。
I love it when the characters say what I just said.
そうか。あの事件は私の知らなかったことだ。と言っても、君には言い訳にしか聞こえんだろうな。アレックス。旬の野村、私を殺すがいい。アレックス。そんな、今さらそんなことできないよ、僕には。
Rachel could.
憎め、私を。敵に情けをかけるようでは地球相手に戦えんぞ。あなたはなぜ僕とあなたを両極端に分けて考えるのですか。僕はゲリラじゃない。
そうよアレックス。シュは私の身を案じて私のそばについていたから戦いに巻き込まれたのよ。
君の身を案じて。
ありがとうシュ。あなたは
Just waiting for Rachel to fuck this all up.
私も地球に帰ったら開拓民たちの現状をみんなに訴えてみる。 さよなら。アレックス、行きましょう。あなたは力いっぱいやったのよ。あとは地球本国の判断に任せるしかないわ。
There's got to be some like bonus points earned from your father for at least keeping this daughter safe, even if he didn't really do that himself.
何もかも指揮官としては失格だ。
Not the greatest looking exosuit.
不思議だ。ダロス。お前は何のために何を作り出そうとしているのか。
私は反対よシュン。メリンダの言葉をあんた本当に信じてるの？
I'm concerned about the slow pace that we're taking at the moment, and how much time we have left to solve all this mystery.
地球人は70億もいるのよ。豊かで兵器もたくさん持ってるわ。
Must have been the population of Earth when this was made, considering it's only 2 billion more than that right now.
私はドクたちと一緒に戦うわよ。あんたみたいにいつまでもグツグツしてぼんやり考えてなんかいられないのよ。
It's a rough flex to say I can't think things through anymore. That's a dumb thing to say. I mean, I get it. You can get into that position. I just don't think you would say that out loud. Who's the working party? I thought we were on a full-on strike. Did we just go off of strike after all that? Or are these scabs?
たちの戦いって何だったんだ。あれだけの
Oh yeah, no, they just fucking gave up. They're going back to work.
敵も味方もそう崩れた。俺たちはこの戦いで何を得たんだ。統括局の奴ら、俺たちに譲歩するって約束してくれたか。俺たちは何も得なかったんだ。見ろ、親父たちを、じいさんたちを、全校区のサボタージュに入ったかと思えば、もう働きに出ている。
I'm glad at least Max is as confused as I am. I mean, unless they're doing something down there and not working.
戦いに共鳴したからじゃねえ。ダロスが破壊されたからだ。ダロスが自己修復したと分かるとあの通りだ。何事もなかったような顔をして校内に入っていく。何も変わらない。この世界は何も変わっちゃいないんだ。
そうかな、マックス。なるほど、開拓民たちの生活は何一つ変わらない。彼らは働き続けるだろうよ。今日も明日も。暗い地の底や真空の世界で。だが、昆虫がただ本能的に働いてんのとわけが違うんだ。彼らは分かってくれたさ。俺たちの戦いの意味をよ。俺たちが投げた石ころは水面に波紋を作ったのさ。波紋は彼らの心を揺さぶったはず。
I mean, unless it changes people's minds on Earth.
一時的とはいえ、サボタージュで生産はストップしたんだ。これはどういうわけだと今頃地球の連中は騒いでるに違いねえ。
Yeah, they'll send more and they'll crack down on you harder next time.
ってわけにはもういかねえ。見てろ。そのうちあちこちに火の手を上げてやら。俺たちの戦いは。
You've literally earned no concessions. No concessions, and Earth only sent one battalion last time. Shit is gonna get worse. I do not know how you're so hopeful.
もう校内におれる父さんを冷たい人間だと思うか。でもな、シュン、これが月面開拓民の生き方なのだよ。
To take it on the chin, I guess?
悲しんでいてどうする。私たちは働かなくてはならない。地球のためでもあるし、私たち自身のためでもある。祖国地球が豊かになれば、私たちの生活もきっと。
Oh, trickle down economics, my ass.
お前たちのように地球を憎む
You're
ことが
3 generations deep and it hasn't worked out for you.
私たちのふるさとだ。地球が私たちを裏切るなんてことはあるわけないじゃないか。
They already have been. I mean, betraying them.
開拓民が勝手に都市の外、特に月の表側に行くことは禁じられている。法律を盾に総領事は反対したが、お前たちのたっての願いとあれば私が許可しよう。
But to allow Shun to see the Earth with his nostalgic grandpa.
どうも。
無理をせん方がいいと思うがな。中央病院でゆっくり療養したらどうだ。気休めは言わんどいてくれ。せめて死ぬ前に望郷の海に行ってみたいのじゃ。
わがままを聞いてくれてありがとう。
何？しかしこれは私の命を助けてくれた例ではないぞ。昨日も言ったはずだが、私を助けたことを後悔する日がきっと来る。が、まあ本国の
I mean, it still seems like you've given him legal forgiveness.
楽しむさ。おっと、君は戦士ではなかったな。
アレックス、あなたあの老人の願いを叶えてやったのではないでしょう。シュンに望郷の海を見せてやりたいと思ったのね。なぜ？
奴がこれからどんな道を選ぶか、それを知りたくて。
Sorry. A little bit of chuckle for me. If we get to the far side of the moon and the Sea of Remembrance is a crater and out sticking from it is Dallos' ass. Slightly creepy horror music starts playing. Are they skimming low, trying to save fuel? To do something different than what they said they were going to do? Yeah, don't fall asleep in a self-driving car, let alone a spaceship in which neither of you are wearing spacesuits. Okay, see, Remembrance has a base of some sort in it. A destroyed base.
痛ましい事故じゃった。些細なミスが原因で多くの開拓民家族が真空と
Exactly what I said they would do to you in the dome.
そのあまりの無誤さにここは封鎖されたのじゃ。聞こえるじゃろう、俊。志半ばで死んでいった仲間たちの声が。
So is the thing I've been warning about the reason why the first generation settlers don't want to fight?
わしには聞こえる。死んでも地球へ帰れなかったんじゃな。
If the first generation settlers rebelled and they like destroyed their habitats, killing them all, and just replaced them later on, I could totally understand why the Settlers Council was like, no, we don't want to fight. Because it'd be entirely to my point. The cost of replacing people is a lot less than the cost of repairing a dome. Well, at least he didn't die before he got to see it. Oh, hey! It's the thing from the overlay! We finally got there. So it's a graveyard? I guess I thought that when I first saw it, too, anyway. Because I called it the thing from, on Pluto. From Galaxy Express 999, which was itself a graveyard.
遺骨を地球へ運んでもらえるものはごくわずかであった。ほとんどのものは祖国に帰ることもできず。
Makes sense to call it the, Seed of Remembrance.
それもモノポリスが誕生してからは禁止され、遺体は科学処理されるのが決まりとなった。
Oh, kind of like my Cross Frontier.
地球はわしらのことをどう考えてくれているのか。もう一度帰りたかった。暖かい地球へ。おじいちゃん。
I don't know, man. That sounded like he died with regret.
おじいちゃんたちは一生懸命働いたんだぞ。お前たちのためにだ。お前たちは何をしてくれたんだ。苦しい時には英雄扱いにして豊かになった今は知らん顔か。おじいちゃん、僕はいろいろ考えた。いろいろ人の意見も聞いた。ドグの言い分もアレックスの言い分も。でもわからない。僕にはわからない。一体どれが開拓民の未来のために正しいのか。分かっているのは 今僕がじっとしていちゃいけないってことだけなんだ。
I mean, if you can use Dallos as a weapon.
ダロスがただの機械じゃないことは分かっている。おじいちゃんが言うように神に近いものかもしれない。でもダロスが何かをしてくれるまで待ってはいられない。いや、待っちゃいけないんだ。おじいちゃん、僕はドクたちの仲間に加わるよ。ドクの考え方すべてにはついてい
So
か
my
ない。
problem is that there's no
今はとも
real
かく彼らと一緒に戦う。
good answer here.
彼らと一緒に地球相手に戦って。
You fight back, they'll kill you all. You don't fight back, you're gonna suffer forever.
わからないけど、今はやるしかないんだ。
I guess most people would say it's better to be alive than dead.
月面開拓民たちに対し、その苦難の歴史を熟知すればこそ最大限の寛容さを示してきた。だが彼らはそれを我々の弱さだと誤解したようだ。我々は対決ではなく、同じ地球人としての協調を望んでいる。だが一部の開拓民過激分子が暴力と混乱を生み出そうとしている現実を
I mean, words are just words. We want to live in harmony, we said. Sorry, one of those weird situations where the overlay matches what's on screen. I'm assuming that's her dad that we just heard. Oh. Oh. Well, now I understand Henry's comment. We literally resolved nothing. Huh. I would normally say that this would be a situation where in a movie could continue the story, and that might be a satisfactory way to handle things. But I think I already know that the movie is more of a all of this put together into one thing, so that's not going to happen. Well, even Max gets in there? No, okay, I thought Max was about to get a credit thing. Ah, bitch. Anyway, this would have been a good launching point for another series. Or a manga, maybe? So you start a manga off of this. Was that Alex's dog? Even Alex's dog gets a thing. But I guess, what, this is 1989? Gonna guess? I can't remember. So what, 30, 41 years ago? I'm bad on the spot math. Okay. Sorry, I thought we were going to get more than that for a second. So, here's the thing. I could see a good way and a bad way to interpret this ending. The good way is that you can decide for yourself how everything goes, right? The sad part about stories ending, typically, is the element of, well, I want to know what happens to the characters after that. You know, the sad thing about letting characters go, I think I said this before, I cried at the last episode of Witch from Mercury. Very specifically because it says, thus ends the story of the Witch from Mercury. It's like, oh, no, I don't get to spend any more time with those characters that I've come to love and enjoy, and I want to literally know what happens to their story, even when they don't have to fight against stuff anymore. Well, this is the more extreme version of that, is that their story isn't over. But it's just an extension of that kind of storytelling, right? That, like in a spy novel, right? In a spy novel, the spy novel typically handles one adventure of the main character, and it turns into like an anthology or a series of stories. so that even at the end of the adventure, you know that the character is going to go on more adventures after that. I guess the problem here, though, is that you're left with, well, they didn't really resolve anything, and they kind of are set back to a status quo position. Or not a status quo, like back to zero, right? Except that Shun is now a member of the Resistance, and I guess the disappointing fact is that he clearly got back, and we never heard Dog tell the story of Tatsuya. So that is just completely, in the air. But I guess there could still be some fun to be had if you were like to try and figure out what Dallos is, and I have just spewed forth constantly what I thought Dallos was the entire time. I believe that it is, in fact, an alien device left on the moon, because that is a common sci-fi trope. And it was a common sci-fi trope of a number of books, I want to say in the previous 10 years or so, before Dallos itself came out. So it wouldn't be surprising if some of that came around to influence Dallos. And that, to my previous explanation, it seems far beyond the capabilities of the first generation moon colonists who have built it, especially when we see the colony in this episode, as Grandpa was talking about, where there's a small mistake caused all that, and it looks so much less high-tech than even the current colony they live in, which itself also looks less high-tech than Dallos. So I have to think they just fucking found Dallos, and that's the explanation for that. Beyond that, we have the political situation where I think we finally hear, like, I'm bad at recognizing voices, so if that was just Alex giving a speech, then forgive me and just let me know in the comments, but I'm interpreting that as Melinda's dad back on the Earth, essentially rallying people against the extremists on the moon, and just giving, like, just verbal speech to, we want to live together, but we can't because these people are this way, that sort of thing. It doesn't mean anything, but it implies that they're going to go working against the extremists, and as I said, the extremists are literally under thumb. You just, you evacuate the people you want to keep from the moon, like the high-ranking people that literally report to the people back on Earth, if you even do care about them. And then otherwise, just crack the dome, suffocate them, literally Total Recall, right? Suffocate them out, bring in a new population of colonists from the Earth. Because, if that's the cycle you believe in, then literally the first generation of colonists are always just wanting to go back to Earth to begin with, and they love the Earth, and it'll just be every 3 generations we wipe this place. I don't know. I did appreciate this. It's just maybe I read into this a whole bunch of different movies that I enjoyed that I could liken it to. Like I said, episode... God, I can't remember if it was during episode 1 or episode 2, but they went all Wolverines on the police force. And then it's ironic that when the battalion shows up, that's when the battalion starts kicking their ass. Because you'd think if it was like a Wolverines metaphor, obviously I don't know which one came out first. I'm not doing the research here as I'm just blabbing out. But if it was like a Wolverines analog, they would be being oppressed by the police, then the battalion would show up, and they would go Wolverines on the battalion. But I guess that doesn't make much sense, because you have to have a reason for the battalion to show up, so if they weren't attacking the police force, the battalion wouldn't have shown up in the first place. Either way, I could see where another version of me watching this on any other night would have ended up with, like, a, what the hell was that? Table flip moment of, that didn't resolve anything. But I think I'm just a little bit more forgiving right now while I'm watching it. Who knows what I'll think when I go and watch the movie version, and see what comes of that. I might be a little bit less forgiving. You know me. Like, anytime you've ever seen me react with lessons on board, I'm a bit more flippant, a little bit more hard on characterizations and actions given in a show. But here, when it's just me and I'm just here with my own thoughts, seems like I'm less flippant, more forgiving. So, yeah, I enjoyed it. It was a good story. Rachel's a bitch, Gonna put that out there one more time. I could come back to this later and like, God, what the fuck was my problem with Rachel? So I don't know. I just really do not like how she portrayed Melinda. Well, she didn't betray Melinda. She never liked Melinda. But she betrayed effectively Shun and his grandpa, who he just wanted to save to eliminate Melinda, who, you know, by the end of it, hadn't betrayed anyone the entire time. So, I don't know. I feel like I'm in ramble mode, and the fact is, again, as I said, I'm still going to record the movie at some point, so it's not like I'm done talking. I just don't think I have anything worthwhile to say anymore. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up here. Hopefully I'll think of more stuff to bring up during the movie or after the movie and have an actual wrap-up thoughts about Dallos there. But for now, I have been Theta, this has been Stoneface Reactions, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video and what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?